Good day, class. I am Mrs. Mutladile, your geography teacher for today's lesson. So we will learn about the contour. Okay, let me introduce the topic for today. Our topic today is a contour. So the question is, what is a contour? A contour is defined as an imaginary line of constant elevation on the ground surface. It can also be defined as the intersection of a level surface with a ground surface. For example, the line intersection of the water surface of a still lake or a pond with the surrounding ground represent a contour line. So when we are talking about the contour, we are talking a contour is an outline. Here, there is an outline here, especially the curving ones, the ones that are curving are the contour. So that's our contour. So when we talk about the contour model, here is our contour model. It's like a project where we represent our contour. Yeah, so it's our contour model. At the next step, we will discuss the contour. So the contour model, when we talk about the contour index, we have a contour index, a contour length, a contour intervals. So when we talk about the contour index, we are talking about these numbers here. We see here our contour intervals. As we can see, our contour intervals is decreased with the 5 because it's 200, 195, 190, so it decreases. That is our contour intervals. Contour index. That number that we see here is our contour index. And then when we talk about a contour lens, are the lens that are small here, like you see the black ones here are the small lens. Yeah, that's our contour lens that we are talking about, are very, very small. So here is our contour lens. And then when we talk about contour intervals, we are talking about the space between our contour lines. Our contour line is this line, like those lines, So our contour intervals are there here, somewhere here is our contour intervals. That space between the contour lines is our contour intervals. So the characteristics are, okay, before I go to characteristics, our landform that we see here in our contour model is a mountain. Here is represented by the green color. And then the river, here's the flowing river with the blue. Here's our river crossing at 180. And then a gentle slope, as we can see from 180 and 175, there is a huge space here, unlike at 165, 160. So here our slope is gentle, meaning it's far apart from each other. There is a space. And then when we talk about steep slope, means that it's close to each other. Is vice versa, 160 and 155, as we can see here, is close to each other. So it means here the slope that we see here is close to each other. It's a steep slope. But at 190 and at 185 here, 190, 185, and then 180 and 175. There is a huge space, meaning our slope is gentle. Okay. When we go to our characteristics of a contour model, our characteristics is that the variation of the vertical distance between any two contour lines are assumed to be uniform, and the horizontal distance between any two contour lines indicates that the amount of a slope varies inversely on the amount of the slope. Thus, a contour are spaced equally for uniform slope. The steepest slope of a terrain at any point on a contour is represented along the normal of the contour at that point. They are perpendicular to ridge and the valley lines where they cross such lines. And the contour do not pass through a permanent structure such as a building, so they don't cross. And our contours of different elevation cannot cross each other. Contour length cannot begin or end on the plane. That is our characteristics of a contour. So in my conclusion, I would like to give my learners, students, a test so that they can test their new skill they have gained throughout the course of the lesson. I will start giving them a practical classwork in the classroom. It's going to take only 5 minutes to complete it. Then after making it, they will have a homework activity. Okay, learners, the homework activity is to go and do their own contour model. I have already discussed with them a contour model and explained everything on the contour model. When we talk about the contour model, it's like a project, so they will have to go and do their own and be creative. Like they will come up with a different model, and they also going to observe a rocks, as we know, are a mountains, because at the mountains there is a steep slope and a gentle slope. So on their own knowledge, they will observe it and then submit the homework that is due tomorrow or next week, that is due next week, to do their own contour model. Thank you.